my voice. Yeah, this should be loud enough. And this is about LinkedIn. Do you guys know LinkedIn at all? No? It is a site and an app, and it's in Korean too. All right, here we go. Should work. Uh-oh. LinkedIn, the world's largest professional network. Today, the internet is making it easier and quicker for employers and employees to find each other. One of the most popular websites for both employers and employees is LinkedIn, a social network service for professionals. The company has more than 400 million users in over 200 countries. Many of the world's top companies use LinkedIn to help them recruit new employees. If you are looking for a job, it's very easy to join LinkedIn. Just post your profile on the site, including your qualifications from school or university, your experience in different jobs, and the skills that you have learned, like managing a team or using different computer programs. Next, you begin to develop your contacts. On LinkedIn, you can search for people you studied or worked with. Maybe an old university friend or an ex-colleague is now with a company that you'd like to work for. That person can post a reference on the site saying how good your work is. More than 3 million companies have pages on LinkedIn, and many of them advertise new positions on the site. With one or two clicks, you can apply for the job and attach your CV and covering letter. You can also discover the number of people interested in the position and know if you are one of the better candidates. And if the company decides to put you on its short list of candidates, you can find a lot of advice on the site about what to say in a job interview. Two new people or companies join LinkedIn every second. So if you're thinking about a new job and you aren't already a member, now's the time to do it. All right, so these are, like I said, when I was going from group to group, these, that while you were waiting, take a look at the vocabulary. Recruit, qualifications, experience, skills, reference, advertise, apply for, candidates, shortlist, and interview. All right, so for here, uh, first we're going to answer the questions that are on the page about LinkedIn. The first one is, well, easy, super easy. It's a number, right? How many people and companies use LinkedIn? So what's the number? Wait, I need to just you find the number? What is it? 400 million. Yeah, over 400 million. Uh-oh. And then, okay, there we go. Yeah, over 400. Now it gets a little bit harder. All right, so how does LinkedIn make it easier for people to find jobs and employers to find new staff? For the first one, I have five. I have five things.
So people like you and me, how does it make it easier for us to find jobs? You don't have to tell me all five. Uh, but yeah, if you find something, let me know, and I'll give you time, as much time as you need. Look through the reading. So you're looking for a job and you are using LinkedIn. How does it make it easier to find a job? Anybody find anything? But when you raise your hand, you just have to tell me one thing. Only one. In the readings. Okay, what did you find? I want to make sure, say, put the profile in your site. Yeah, you can easily put your profile with your red resume and all of that on the site. And even the type of job you're looking for. But remember, companies also are putting are on there. So, well, yeah,
We can find a lot of advice on the site.
yeah. If you are added to the short list, let's say it will give you advice on what to do and what to say when you go on your interview for the job. All right. Anybody else find anything? Or what if somebody you know is also on LinkedIn?
Then
What can you ask him or her to do? That's in the reading. You can ask him or her to do what? What's that? Hey,
Can post friends on the site saying how could learn or is
right, they can give you a reference. You can even ask them to write you a reference letter. Anybody else? Yep, Song Hyun.
they can find a lot of advice sites what to say in top
Yeah.
interview.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to show you guys the five that I have. People can put their profiles on the site. Somebody already said that. You can look for friends or ex-colleagues who can maybe help them answer. That's what I was saying, because companies also post. So you can look for job ads and well, this is the type of job that I want. And so you can post your resume. So answer job ads for companies looking for employees. You can even get information about other people who are applying for the same job as you. And of course, people who are put on the short list can find advice on what to say at an interview. Okay. For B, how does it make it easier for employers or companies to find new staff? There's really only one thing. So you're a company and you want to hire new staff. How does it make it easier for you? Yep. C'est sûr.
Company can advertise new position on the site.
Yeah, because many people use this site. It doesn't, you didn't have to say exactly what I have here. Just, yeah. And they do because they know that a lot of the people are on the site, so it's easier for them to find staff. And it is in Korean, so in about 3 years, 3, 4 years, you guys will be looking for a job. There you go, LinkedIn. I'm sure Youngnam also has like a job fair, right? Companies come, because when I was a uni student, we always had job fairs. Companies, military, they would be coming and saying, "Hey, come look for us." And I'm looking to see if anybody is writing. All right, now it's not the normal way, like no, the other units have for making sure you understand the vocabulary, but it's still a way to make sure you understand the vocabulary. All right, so I'm still going to do the same thing, but some students may have to stop reading at a certain point to let the other student read. So for example, if you are one, then you have to stop with employee because number two has to read the rest. And if you are number 8, you have just after you say your word, you stop. And then number 9 continues. So I'll put these on the board. You go ahead and look. This is the process. The first box and the first box and the last box is the company hiring. The middle box is you. Uh, you can probably hear what's going to be done very soon on the other class. But yeah, you know how it works. Whenever you're ready, let me know which one you want to read, and then wait. I first saw her hand go up, so Bojan? 1, there you go. Already met 1. All right, now we're gonna, next to Bojan is Minju. 4. 4. 1, 2, 1, 3, 19. Okay, Minju. Oh, here's Minju points. Hyun. 3. 3. All right. Oops, okay. Is that each?
Thank you.
Beauty is okay. Woman, beauty, easy, woman. Number? Mhm. Seven. Eight. Seven.
Six.
Six. Well, that's a good one.
Nine.
Nine. Five, seven.
Five.
Five.
Seven.
Seven. All right, who's going to be doing number two? Number two. The last one, I'm gonna erase it, but we're still waiting, number two. All right. Here. All right, so whenever you feel ready, number one, please stop at employee.
When a company decides to recruit a new employee,
Two.
it interface the job in a place or online.
It usually advertises. Advertises.
You decide to apply for the job. You send a CV which includes information about
And then this is the list, so four. Your qualifications,
the companies that works for your experience.
your experience.
The things that you have learned to your skills. People who use that work who can give you a response.
So before we move on, learnt. This book is very British based. So that's the British past tense of learn. American in English, it's ed. But both are correct. So if you were writing and you use this, you don't lose points. All right, continuing.
Companies produce CVs for all the candidates.
Candidates.
And
And
makes a short list of the best ones.
Involves this paper to the company for an interview.
or an interview. Any question? Vocabulary. Okay. So by the way, everybody's bio. Good. You had your qualifications, your experience. You had everything I asked for. All right. And I got them all. Almost. It was a busy weekend, reading and grading. Yeah. That's all done. All right. All right, you're going, this is one of the things you may have heard from the other classroom. I think it was over here and over here. Two people are talking about how they got their job. And they're talking about how lucky they were to get the job they got. They didn't think they were going to get hired, but they got hired. How did it happen? What happened? And I have the audio split into two. So we're going to listen to speaker one, and I will ask that if anybody needs to hear it one more time. And of course, I will play it one more time. So it won't be one long audio. It'll be first audio I split is one and then two. All right. So here we go. Speaker one. She didn't think she was going to get the job, but she did. What happened? This might be a little loud at first.
I only saw the advertisement for my job at the last minute. It was on the company's website, and the deadline was at midnight the same day. I only had about 4 hours to prepare my application. I sent it at about 2 minutes before midnight. I really wanted the job, but I wasn't really qualified for it because I didn't have a master's degree. So I didn't think I would be shortlisted, but I was. Why? Well, I was the last person to send my CV. So I was the first candidate on their list the next morning, and the first one they looked at. It's always useful to be at the top of the pile.
All right. Who needs to hear it one more time? Don't be shy. Anybody? One more time. All right. Remember, you also have the Korean. As she's speaking, you can actually see what she's saying.
I only saw the advertisement for my job at the last minute. It was on the company's website, and the deadline was at midnight the same day. I only had about 4 hours to prepare my application. I sent it at about 2 minutes before midnight. I really wanted the job, but I wasn't really qualified for it because I didn't have a master's degree. So I didn't think I would be shortlisted, but I was. Why? Well, I was the last person to send my CV. So I was the first candidate on their list the next morning, and the first one they looked at. It's always useful to be at the top of the pile.
So she didn't think she was going to get the job, but she did. How? What happened? All right. See?
She was the only candidate who sent the CV.
No.
Oh.
She wasn't the only candidate who sent the CV. You know there's a script in the back of the book if you need help. I think the script starts on page 144, but that's unit 1. You would have to be looking for, you'd have to go to each page until you find 6.1. And you should see 2 speakers. If it's in the book, you can use it. So yeah, I don't mind that you go and look in the back of the book. Yeah, so again, many people applied for the job. She was worried that she wasn't going to get it. When did she send in her CV? No, you can't go. I'll just show you the answer then. And then for 2, you can follow along in the back of the book or whatever makes it easier for you. All right. She only saw the ad at the last minute because she was the last person to apply. She was the first person they looked at. Because she, okay, because she saw the ad at the last minute and applied for the job, she really thought she wasn't going to get it because it was too late. But I don't know why they did this. Because she was the last one, her resume went on the top. So each time people sent in a resume, it would just go like this. But she was the first one they looked at, and I think she was added to their short list. All right, so again, I'll just play it twice. I won't ask. I'll just play it 2 times. Whether you follow along in the back of the book or stay on this page, whatever you do, it's okay.
It all started with a job interview in another company. I could see that the person who interviewed me didn't like me. He wasn't interested in my answers. The company wanted a highly skilled technician, preferably with 3 years working in the industry. I had the qualifications, but I wasn't at all experienced as this was my first real job. Anyway, I decided to go for a drink after my interview, and there I met one of my old teachers from technical school. He had a new job working for a company installing wind turbines. He was responsible for the recruitment of service technicians. I think you can imagine the rest. That was so lucky. It all started with a job interview in another company. I could see that the person who interviewed me didn't like me. He wasn't interested in my answers. The company wanted a highly skilled technician, preferably with 3 years working in the industry. I had the qualifications, but I wasn't at all experienced as this was my first real job. Anyway, I decided to go for a drink after my interview, and there I met one of my old teachers from technical school. He had a new job working for a company installing wind turbines. He was responsible for the recruitment of service technicians. I think you can imagine the rest. That was so lucky.
All right. So he came from a bad interview where he knew the person didn't like him. He knew he wasn't going to get the job. He needed a drink, so he went to the local pub, and then he got lucky. What happened? What happened at the pub? Okay. Let it go ahead.
He met one of his old teachers from the community school.
Yeah, he's right. And what was he doing now? What was his job now? Anybody? Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
He working for a company installing wind turbines.
Right. And he was responsible for the former teacher was responsible for what? He was he, he's responsible for the trying to give other students a chance. And if you look at the script, he was responsible for the all right, so nobody else is crying. And then she needs more points. I'll give her a chance. Hey, and
He was responsible for the recruitment of the service technicians.
yeah. So the guy got the job, and yeah, that's how he got lucky. Okay, you might see the first one. I could have sworn there was an audio. Yeah, okay.
I only saw the advertisement for my job at the last.
Okay. So, give you guys a chance to write this. You know what's going on here. 1 through 4 is her. 5 through 8 is him. Some of the things that they said, using the vocabulary. And you'll notice, we did a short lesson on vocabulary might be a noun, but on the test it might be changed to a verb, and so on. If it's the vocabulary, the verb, they might change it to a noun. It's not always going to be what it was in the reading. This is a good example of that. All right, so I'll give you guys enough chance to write this. Now listen. Again, this is the vocabulary being used.
I only saw the advertisement for my job at the last minute. It was on the company's website, and the deadline was at midnight the same day. I only had about 4 hours to prepare my application. I sent it at about 2 minutes before midnight. I really wanted the job, but I wasn't really qualified for it because I didn't have a master's degree. So I didn't think I would be shortlisted, but I was. Why? Well, I was the last person to send my CV. So I was the first candidate on their list the next morning, and the first one they looked at. It's always useful to be at the top of the pile.
Let's do 1 through 4. Number 1. Yep. 3. Yeah, number 1. Yeah.
I only saw the advertisement for my job.
By the way, when it's a noun, an advertisement can also be an ad. All right, number 2. Okay. All right, sign in.
I only have about 4 hours to prepare my application.
My application. There's no short form here. This application. If you say app, everybody's gonna think phone or computer. All right, number 3. Oh, okay. Means you. I wasn't really qualified for it. Or okay. And you?
So I won't think I would have been shortlisted, but I was.
I didn't think I was shortlisted, but I was. Okay. Should be okay. Wait a minute. I'm looking at the head. It's showing the answers. It shouldn't be doing that.
It all started with a job interview in another company. I could see that the person who interviewed me didn't like me. He wasn't interested in my answers. The company wanted a highly skilled technician, preferably with 3 years working in the industry. I had the qualifications, but I wasn't at all experienced as this was my first real job. Anyway, I decided to go for a drink after my interview And there I met one of my old teachers from technical school. He had a new job working for a company installing wind turbines. He was responsible for the recruitment of service technicians. I think you can imagine the rest. That was so lucky.
Review. All right. Number 5. Town hall.
Recursive and converse to yes.
Mhm. All right, number 6. All right, Seihan.
Company wanted a highly skilled agent.
Right. Highly skilled technician. 7. Oh, the only one that has a hand up. Bo Jones.
I have the recognition of iOS experience.
And 8. And
He was responsible for the recruitment of service technicians.
yep. Let me just give you guys your points. This is for the group work. Um, we'll keep on. All right, so we don't. This is what I was talking about, and then I'm going to let you guys get into your assignments. I'm just going to show you the answers. Like I said, noun, verb, or adjective on the test, I said it would be changed. Not all of them. Sometimes if it's a noun in the book, it might be changed to a verb or an adjective on the test. So short list, short listed, adjective, same. Adjective qualified. Okay. Interview, interviewed. Adjective no. Skilled, skilled. Experience, experience. And experienced as an adjective. Recruitment, recruit, and that's it. So next class we will be studying in the back of the book, but for now, I'll let you guys get to work on your product service part of the website. If you have any questions about that, by the way, I was noticing that in one group, almost everybody in the group was sending me the link just to be sure I got the link. Just for each assignment, decide who's going to submit the link. Then you know that it was done. For example, this group might say, okay, who wants to do the link for products or service? They choose him, and when everything's done, he puts in the link, and then that's it. I only need one link. And I told you, this is the part where he sends the link. I look at the product service page. Wow, this is amazing. 25. And I give him 25. Everybody's 25. Because now we're getting into group work. So I did say this is when somebody not doing the work. Let me know. Talk to the student first. If it's still a problem, let me know. And I will give that student a 0. I've only had it, it's happened to me 2 times. The whole time I've been doing this, 2 times. So yeah. We don't have a lot of time left, but use that time to work on your product service page, because I'm gonna let you guys go in about 6, 7 minutes. Any questions at all? Any? I'm here.
그러니까 내가 올렸던 거 쓸 거. 저거
I mean,
뽑다 내가 너 근데 얘는 내